Keegs Show.
Welcome to Herschy and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday night, 9 p.m. That means it's the Herschy and the Keegs Show. That's what happens. That's tonight. And apparently, we knew.
Yeah, we did know.
We're supposed to have a guest tonight, and
we still might.
We still might. He was confirmed, and we'll see. But he's of the
absent portfolio
he's
right
of the
now.
Urban persuasion, so they always run a little bit late.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, urban people run late.
Okay, like Urban Outfitters, they do.
So, but he'll be here. He'll be here. I have faith in him, and so we do have a guest supposedly joining us. Our friend Sean Brown,
right?
A well-known Long Island comedian,
lovely man,
but
funny.
Right now though, it's the Herschy and the Keegs Show. Mike Keegan, Mark Hirschman, Tony Walker.
That's it.
How are you, boys?
We're always here.
We are always.
We're always here because that's what we do, and this is what we look forward to, and we're excited to see each other. I think more than anything, we're excited to see each other. That's why we do this.
This is the only reason I do this.
I mean, that's the big reason how I get you out of here.
Exactly.
So very good.
Otherwise.
So maybe we'll just do the interview of Sean Brown without Sean Brown.
We'll give him about 5 or so minutes. Otherwise, we'll interview an empty chair. And
that's fine. To be honest with you, we've had guests in that chair who we would in turn prefer were an empty chair at one point.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully, Mr. Sean Brown, who actually has done more today than most of our guests do, which is he shared the show. He liked the post that we wrote about him being on the show.
Was that Sean Brown?
How'd that little picture get up there?
Look at that little guy.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a cute little guy.
We'll talk about that picture again. We'll do that.
You know what? Maybe to kill a minute or two, maybe we'll go through some sponsors first.
Well, that's not a terrible idea, really.
And then maybe by the time we finish our sponsors, a guest will come.
Sometimes
if not,
people like to make a big splashing entrance.
That's
so
what
it's
I think it's going to be.
Sometimes you do that. Sometimes
maybe he is here.
That one time that you were running the New York Marathon and you were delayed and you came in a couple of minutes
here
late.
Just in time. See, it's 9:04. They run 4 minutes late usually.
Comics.
Those people.
The comedians.
Yeah, comedians.
Yeah, gotcha.
Very
good.
He's Costa Rican.
Yeah, he is from the rich coast.
I don't know if he's from there, but yeah.
Yeah.
But go through our sponsors, and then well, Tony's gone now. So.
We lost our producer. There he is.
There
That's
he
all
is,
right.
Sean Brown. What's going on, brother?
Go ahead, man. Put on headphones and
right over here. Throw on some headphones.
Sean B. Comedy.
How are you, sir?
My guy. What's up? Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, Sean Brown's here. We're going to run some sponsors real quick, and then we're going to dive right into it with Mr. Sean Brown Comedy.
Dive right into Sean Brown.
That's it. The Herschy and Keegs Show is proudly sponsored by Sophia Jewelry at 134 Gardeners Avenue right here in Levittown. Specializing in diamonds and vintage jewelry. Go see Omid for all of your buying and selling of jewelry and mention Herschy and the Keegs for a free appraisal. A lot of you have jewelry that need to be appraised. They're going to do it for free. Do you know how much that is, Mike?
That's thousands of dollars.
That's exactly right. That's an equivalent of a lot of money. So go see Omid. He's a wonderful man. It's next to the Dog Pound Bar. It's over there. There's a deli over there. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Stop at some Chinese food and go visit Omid. We have our dear friends at Platinum Chiropractic. Dr. Kimberly O'Connor. She is fully dedicated to providing chiropractic solutions to address your unique needs. Whatever you're experiencing, which is back pain, neck pain, headaches, muscle tightness, tension. What else? Hemorrhoids? They do that as well?
They do. They pop them for you.
Yeah, they do. They burst them right there. 516-935-3555 right there in beautiful downtown Hitsville. Of course, we have our friends over at New View Construction. Established in 2007, they are the people to call for the finest craftsmanship and all of your general contracting needs. Call 516-924-5627 and do it with confidence. And then there is American Restoration Solutions. Our boy Keith Keith Dunn, the senior account manager. When disaster strikes, Keith Dunn and his team will guide you to recovery. Call 516-662-9377 and ask for senior account manager Keith Dunn. And with no further ado, we have our friend Sean Brown here.
Sean Brown.
Instagram famous, TikTok famous, and more importantly, a wonderful comedian. Welcome, Sean Brown. What he does not do in promptness, he makes up in funny. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for
How
coming,
you doing,
man.
Sean Brown?
Thank you. Thank God for having me. I'm
Yeah,
doing
man.
great,
We're super
Absolutely.
stoked.
We're excited. We like to showcase and spotlight our favorite Long Island personalities
Absolutely.
and friends. So
And
thanks for coming down.
Sean
No,
is
I
hot
appreciate
as a
it.
pistol right now. He's doing a lot of stuff, Instagram, comedy. Sean Brown, how did this phenomenon that's really taking over Long Island start? How did Sean Brown even? We know you're a professional person during the day. How did the life of Sean Brown comedy even start?
Just one day at the brokerage. That's John Ziegler's open mic. I just
Nice.
went down. I always wanted to do stand up. I was always the funny one growing up, funny one in my family, funny one in school. But I was shy too, so I didn't think I could do it on a professional stage.
Yeah.
And I would just check governor's website every year, check it. Like, oh, I should go down.
And it took a while for you.
Yeah,
to
it took me years to do it.
Wow.
I
So
remember.
John Ziegler hasn't had a mic at brokerage in a long time. So we're going back 10 years?
2017 was the first time. I
Yeah,
stayed.
so 8 years going on 9 years is when
Yeah.
Ziegler hasn't done a brokerage open mic. So you go there, you're telling family about it, or you're just going to go ahead and bring some stuff that you wrote down and you're popping in. What was the plan?
Yes, I wrote some jokes. I only told because it was a 6-person bringer.
Yeah.
I brought exactly 6 people because if I bombed,
exactly.
I didn't want a lot of people seeing it.
So
Six people that you don't care about not ever seeing.
who were the
again.
6 people that you trusted that were not going to ruin your life if it didn't go well?
At the time, it was my girlfriend at the time, her father, her brother, and I don't even remember who the other 3 was. To be
So
honest.
6 people that are out of your life, basically.
Right now, yeah.
Your girlfriend at the
Yeah,
time,
yeah, at
and
the
then
time,
the
yeah,
day
yeah.
after, she's like, that's
So that's interesting. So was your anticipation, and I know we all have different stories about this, especially me, was it I'm going to go do this one time just to climb that mountain and I'm good, or you really wanted to see if it was going to take off somewhere?
No, I wanted to do it for real. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to be a comedian. I watched stand-up comedy my whole life. Def Jam comedy, Comic View.
Sure.
For those, that's the black urban comedy.
Yeah, our,
That- and then
No,
the
we
rest
don't-
of
for
it-
our listeners,
Right.
once you go 5 channels past what you usually watch,
Right. When you're on
you know that channel, you go,
when you're on the couch and that dog runs to go ahead and jump on top of you and he hits the remote control and there's a few channels go past, you're like, wait, what the fuck is this? That's what Sean Brown is talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my experience. I didn't even know stand-up comedy was a thing till one.
That's what it was. When I started doing stand-up in Long Island, I didn't know that there was these open mics everywhere and that the regular Long Island people. I thought it was just like celebrities that would come down the
Me too,
governors and
yeah.
stuff. I never knew until I got
That's
into
the
that.
same
It
thing
was-
for me.
Yeah.
Did you, it was over with, did you have that same, like, holy shit, like, this is the most incredible thing I've ever felt outside of being in a bedroom? Did you have that feeling, or were you not fully snake bit yet? What was your reaction that night?
No, I felt great after
Oh.
the first one. Yeah, it went really well.
Okay.
I felt like I did one of the best on the shows.
Sure, I'm sure you did, yeah.
John Ziegler came up to me like, "How long have you been doing this?" This is my first time ever on stage. He's like, "Oh, take my number." He called me the next day, gave me tips, told me
Spoke
about
to
the
you for
comedy
35
scene.
minutes. On
Yeah,
the phone.
yeah. But a long convo. I'm like, I'm at work. I gotta go back. My break is over 40 minutes ago.
So how beneficial was it, John Ziegler talking 34 minutes about himself and 1 minute about you? How was that?
I mean, it made me feel legit. Cause I'm like, I'm like this.
Yeah,
I
he's a
didn't
great
know at the
guy,
time. Like,
of
does he
course.
call all the comics after this?
No, he
You know?
does not. And
Yeah.
he saw something in you, and John's been around a long time, so that's pretty neat. Were you itching to get back up immediately? Or did you wanted to go as fast as you could back on stage?
I booked the next one
Nice.
right away. I booked the next one. And, me being green, I'm like, oh, I'm a comedian now. I booked
Yeah.
the Bringer show at Gotham, the Bringer show at Caroline. I
Doing
booked-
every bringer
Yeah.
shit.
And I'm like, oh, I can't bring 6 people to all these shows. Then I learned the business of comedy,
Yeah.
Because, they say, oh, there's going to be a producer there, booker there, you get
Yeah.
spots, all of that stuff they
That's
tell
how
you.
the club sees you. Meanwhile, they're not going to look at you
Yeah,
for
there's
another
no
year or
booker,
two.
there's nothing there,
Yeah.
So going back now 8-9 years, we're talking. When you look back, if you do look back at your old sets, how much do you see an evolution from what you did then to now, as far as your stage presence, your joke writing, everything about your presence on stage?
Yeah, I was more nervous back then, of course. I was a little more shaky.
Yep.
I was just trying to do what I saw on TV, because there's no handbook for comedy.
Yeah.
Nope.
You just see what they do, and you're like, all right. I said, you kind of get, the people that kind of got like a natural ability to it,
Yeah.
could pick it up faster than somebody who needs to be really tuned.
So without getting too much into it, we know from a professional standpoint that you come from a background that you're talking a lot and you're helping people, you're speaking to people. So do you think that made your transition just so much easier because you were kind of already doing it for a living with a little bit of touch of comedy?
Yeah, it helped in a way. It helped more so on the business side.
Okay.
And I know how to move around, talk to people, talk
Sure.
to important people. Because a lot of comedians, they're super funny. They don't know how to handle business.
Right.
So like my third show ever, I produced my own show just because I'm like, why can't I just do my own show? I could,
If somebody's gonna be making money on this, why shouldn't it be me? I could do exactly what they're doing.
I could put my friends on the show, then I'm like, I could do more than 7 minutes
And then
if
the
it's my
people
show.
that I book will book me on their show, and it snowballs. Like that's
So-
the business.
Exactly.
It's really an interesting thing because most comics don't understand that or don't try to do that till at least a year or two into the business.
Yeah.
So something clicked in your mind like, wait a second, I'm bringing people, they're paying money, the club's getting money or Gotham's getting money, whatever it is. Let me make the money.
Yeah, I just wanted more control because I'm like, 7 minutes and, the Bringer show is like 13, 14 comics.
Right.
Then I was meeting people that I thought were funny.
Right.
Then that's when the Little Room came about. I probably did one of the first shows in the Little Room.
Okay.
But Terry McNeely booked me, so that's when I found out about the Little Room. He booked me on one of those shows.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, how does it work? How could I do this on my own so I could just have more control?
It clicks. And listen to these. As far as we are now, from then, like years later, there's literally nobody on Long Island that hustles more than Sean Brown.
Yeah, I appreciate
always
that.
have something going on. Literally always like mad funny comedy shows all over the place.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate that.
and-
But Mike put me on one of his early shows too, and that's when I first met Mike.
Yeah, we've known each other for since the
Years,
start, pretty much,
And when I first saw Mike, 'cause I would see his name pop up everywhere. Mike was hot, on the scene.
Yeah.
Then when I saw his set, I'm like, oh, this is a headline. I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be done.
What happened, Mike?
I don't know, I was hot for a little while.
But I would see you everywhere at the time.
Yeah,
2017, 2018.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Mike
yeah,
Keegan, I
that
see
was-
Mike Keegan everywhere, different stages.
Yeah.
It's interesting how we always talk, Mike and I, about the people that we like the most seem to have the same people that they deal with. So obviously Ziegler's a friend of ours. Terry, they've both been on our show. So you kind of flock to people that you thought were going to help you, not look to backbite you or undercut you, and potentially help you get opportunity in the business.
Yeah, I just been blessed, meeting all the right people. The right people gravitated towards me. I gravitated toward them.
Yeah, if you're the right kind of person, you're going to meet the right people in this, especially in our small circuit of Long Island comedians. So
I think that happens organically, though. I don't think I
very
can
organic.
guarantee you that Sean was not intentionally saying, well, I'm going to go chase down Ziegler or McNeely. It kind of like John took a liking to you, boom, was calling you the next day.
Yeah.
Terry was doing the same thing. And then, once you start getting into that flow, as long as you're willing to put in the time, you're going to get to the point where you're at. And I'm sure you think there's a lot of meat on this bone, I'm assuming. You think you haven't even touched it yet, right?
I haven't even touched it. Yeah, I was going to say that. Like, I'm just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Like, so many more levels I could go with this. But I've been having fun. Like you said, it happened organically.
Yeah.
Because when I started, I didn't know anybody in the comedy scene.
Nothing.
I didn't even know there was 3 governors. I didn't know anything.
So, and you
like
grew
that.
up down at Uniondale,
Unionville,
right?
yeah, I grew
Yeah.
up in
So
Unionville, yeah.
you didn't come to the clubs. You just were watching TV, watching comics, just
I would
loving it.
see, yeah, the Comic View, Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
Then then I saw Kevin Hart, his special. That was a big moment for me. I'm like, oh wow, he made me believe that I could really do it.
Yeah.
He's talking about regular stuff,
So watching some of your clips today, that was kind of what I was thinking, and it's what Mike and I talk a lot on the show about, is about speaking in terms of relativity, where the crowd can look at you and say, shit, that happened to me. That's my experience. So what you're doing is you're taking regular life stuff, putting a little bit of a twist on it, and you're also very self-deprecating, I noticed, which is not every comic can pull that off, or they're not willing to pull it off.
Yeah.
Where you have no concerns at all about breaking your own balls. Which
these are
is
things you struggle with. You talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just life, because everybody can relate to real life things.
absolutely.
that's why you're so relatable, because everything you talk about is it's conversational. You're having a conversation,
Yeah.
and you're naturally funny. So that you can do whatever you want up there.
Yeah, just putting it all together, and then it takes comics a long time to find their voice.
Yeah.
I just started feeling like I'm finding my voice, like this year, last year.
Man, listen, it's crazy. I've been doing comedy. This past Sunday was the 15th year anniversary of my
saw the
first
post.
starting.
Yeah, I saw that.
And 15 years in, sometimes I'll write new bits, and I'm going to be governors in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait to use some new bits that 15 years ago, even 10 years ago or 5 years ago that I couldn't write. Stuff that was really just clean and the fat is trimmed already and it's just to the point. And I remember, I think it was John Truson, actually. Do you know John at all?
I definitely know John.
So John used to talk about, and it used to annoy me because I'm like, shit, that's not true. I can do this now. But he would tell comics that you have to have at least, I don't remember the number, but you have to have a certain amount of sets before
10,000.
before you even can be close to being funny.
Yeah.
And he said there's a certain amount of years you have to be doing this.
Yep.
And over the years, I'm like, this fucking guy was right.
Yeah.
He's right. Like you need time in this business. You need years talking, whether it's podcast, comedy. You have to be able to let your voice be heard. And so you probably haven't even scratched it, like you said. You haven't.
Yeah,
Sean hasn't, because I always see he's always evolving. Over the last couple of years, and then you started doing the Mad, and you're branching out. You're doing the Mad Funny comedy shows, and always evolving over the last 9 years that I've known you. So
yeah, no, I appreciate that. Just like they say, stay on stage. You really got to stay on stage to get better.
Yeah.
When I first started, I took time off. I would stop. Go back, stop.
Yeah.
Life things happen. I moved to Queens in a relationship. Then broke up. I didn't want to get on stage for a little while. Got back on stage. I went to Florida.
For a while.
For a little while.
Those are my favorite videos.
Yeah,
when Sean went to
mine
Florida, I always told every time I see Sean, when he was I don't know if you ever saw the videos, but when he moved to Florida, he was getting construction done on his house. And he had a construction worker that would come by that would just get wasted drunk.
I saw that.
And Sean would walk in on the guy, and he's just passed out under a ladder.
People thought they were skits. That was real. It was like happening in real time.
Just you videotaping what's happening at your house.
Yeah.
That's it.
And just the way Sean's so monotone and cool about it. He's like, what was the guy's name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel's like, yo, Gabriel's out again, man. What
That's
are you doing,
amazing.
Gabriel?
I think Gabriel got deported. I can't get in contact with him. I cannot find Gabriel for nothing.
He's still under the ladder, probably. He's still there.
Yeah, so it was a fun time, but I was away from comedy. Then when I came back from Florida, I'm like, you know what? Let me go full head of steam.
Yeah.
Because you got to keep the main thing. So I want to keep comedy the main thing.
So how long's it been that you've been straightforward, full steam ahead? A couple of years now?
Yeah, so since I got back from Florida, so like January 2024, that's when I came back. I'm like, you know what?
Just kicking balls.
Let me just go back. Then I've been just the most consistent I've been in my whole.
And you're not stopping. This is it.
This is it.
This is it.
And when I started getting momentum, I'm like, I can't keep jumping in and out, out.
That's hurting you for sure.
Yeah.
When you first started this, from a family standpoint, whether it be siblings, parent, whatever the case may be, was it like, what are you doing, bro? Or this is good. We want you to be doing this. Like, what was some of the responses that you got from people around you?
They was all supportive, like super supportive. But they were pushing me for years to do it. They said, you got to do comedy, stand up. I played varsity basketball. My coach would tell me, oh, you should think about comedy.
Sure.
So they've been pushing me for years to just do it. And they were really happy that I took the leap of faith to do it.
That's what happened to me when I was playing sports. The coach was like, yeah, you should do something.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah. But I tried basketball, baseball, football, soccer, lacrosse, badminton.
Coach said the same
They all
thing.
said comedy.
Chorus, glee club, swimming, nothing. You sure, coach? Yes, no, comedy is fine. Comedy, just do the comedy. That's fine. As far as when you were younger and as you emulated into this career, where there's, you mentioned Kevin Hart, but were there certain comics where you would just watch and be like, shit, like I can do that and I want to be like that person? Or was Kevin Hart your guy?
Well, I didn't catch on to Kevin Hart till like 2009. Like earlier.
So 16 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, it was more so Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Especially the movies.
Rush Hour. Yeah.
I found his Def Comedy Jam set. He only had like 8 minutes.
Right.
He had like one of the best 8 minutes ever.
Yeah.
That 8 minutes took him to Hollywood. People don't realize that he had an 8-minute set.
Yeah.
That set him on fire, and he never looked back.
Exactly.
So Chris Tucker's an interesting one. Like, to me, he's one of the strongest comedians who has not really put out nearly as much material as you think he would.
Yeah, he has nothing out really. He put out something recently.
He did put out something recently, but he was out for a while. I mean, and he was just so hot for so long with the Rush Hours.
Yeah, and the
Friday
came
movies.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
The money was so good, he never even went back to stand up.
It's interesting. You wonder with someone like that is like, was his goal all along to become a comic, and then all of a sudden he got Friday, he got Rush Hour, multiple Rush Hour movies where he made enough money to live off of for the rest of his life, and then he was like, maybe I didn't really want to be a stand-up, I just wanted to be an actor, or maybe I just wanted to get all the money, and then he doesn't do anything anymore. Really, he's kind of low key.
Yeah, I think he was just in that situation where he wanted to do comedy, but it just everything just went so fast.
Yeah.
Then he got
then
the
end
movies.
game for him was probably the movies and stuff like it is for everybody. He's like, oh, I did it, I made it, and I was so hot for so long. That's one of my favorite things when he was Victor Moan Jr. He's like, yeah, I'm Victor Moan Jr. and I hang out with all the guys, Frank Sinatra Jr., Sammy Davis Jr.
So if you look at, we have to remember that Eddie Murphy started out right here in these clubs. He was from Roosevelt.
Another inspiration, definitely Eddie Murphy. Just learning that he was from Long Island.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got one of the best comics
of
all time.
The absolute
from
best.
5 minutes where I'm from.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because on Long Island, we get a bad rap in sports and other stuff. Like, we're inferior to the
false.
boroughs.
It's totally false.
Yeah. If anybody walks through this hallway right in front of where we are, you see every Long Island comic that's come through this club.
Yeah.
And it's impressive.
Crazy.
So Eddie obviously was, I would say, put comedy on his back for Delirious and Raw, those first few albums. Put comedy on his back, where comedy, I think, was in a place that really was not that great for a while. And then all of a sudden, Eddie came out, did those, and then in between that, he's getting 48 Hours in Beverly Hills Cop, and the next thing you know, he stopped doing comedy. I don't even think he's really done it since then.
No.
So
30 years, he hasn't done it, and he won't do it unless it's the right opportunity. I don't think, because think about being Eddie Murphy coming out putting a special and it sucks.
It doesn't go. I know exactly.
It's a huge
everybody
risk.
wants him to do it.
I know.
Everybody wants another Delirious. Everybody wants another Raw.
But when you watch people get interviewed and you hear the greatest, you ask them what are the best comedy albums. You hear Bill Cosby's is almost always the one I hear about.
Yeah.
You hear Carlin and you hear Eddie's two specials, especially. Mm-hmm. So at this point, he's 60 years old. He's made a gazillion dollars. Like, he would really have to have a set that blows the world apart in order to.
And if he tried to do what he did in Delirious and Raw, you can't do it anymore.
You can't do it no more. You can't even go there no more.
You can't talk about the honeymooners having sodomizing each other.
Yeah, it wouldn't go. So exactly. I understand why he had to step back on, because he has a lot to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because even Kevin Hart, who hit the pinnacle a couple of years ago, he's getting killed for his most recent stuff.
Oh yeah,
he's not, and his recent stuff wasn't great. I mean, I watched it and it wasn't the same. And for him, that he loves doing stand up, but Eddie must have reached a point where he's like, I'm good. Like, I did it. I climbed the mountain, and conversely, you have these people like Seinfeld who have to go back on stage. They need to. That's who they are.
Yeah.
But sometimes people use it as a channel to get somewhere else, and who knows? I mean, you've used stand-up comedy. Now you're up to 30,000 following on Instagram. So did you see that coming? How did that even?
I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah,
because I was never like an Instagram skit guy.
Yeah.
And respect to them, it's hard to do it. And a lot of people that do it, they do it well. And it takes a lot to be able to do that. And
it's a lot of dedication too. You got to keep coming up with stuff and posting stuff, and
you got to be good at the skits. I did my first skit like last week Tuesday.
Oh, really?
and I felt like it was a good skit, but I kind of sucked. I'm like, damn, I got to get better at acting.
It's not easy, and you got to ride that wave. You had the P Diddy stuff that was going on.
Yeah, so that's where I got most of my followers from.
Yeah,
after that video, it went like wildfire.
That must have been the craziest week.
Crazy week. I got a million views in a day.
That was
a million views in a day.
I never thought that would happen. I went to sleep.
Christ.
It was at like 3,000.
That was at the brokerage, right? That video was from the
no, that was actually a Helium in Philly.
Okay,
Helium in Philly.
Got you.
Yeah, the second. So I put the second half of it. I did at the broke. I wish I would have put the one I did here. Because I wanted to show more love to Govs. I'm always here.
I think I was here when you did the one Govs.
Yeah, and it was a great. It was a great. And I didn't think it was going to do that, though. I knew it was going to do well because of the timing.
Yeah.
I've been doing that joke since October. Since he got arrested,
Yeah.
But I knew when the trial started, all the mentions gonna be about Diddy.
Yeah.
So put it out.
Just tell our audience a little bit of a little history that as growing up, you were basically your friends. That people said that you looked like Diddy.
Everybody,
You said, what'd you say? The Fat Diddy is what you said on the.
Now, because I was in shape
Now when
back
he was
then.
looking.
Now I'm like, oh, it's, because somebody shouted it out in the crowd at the brokerage, and I added it to the joke, and that's like one of the funniest punchlines. But at the time, people would stop me. I would work in the mall, teachers, coaches, everybody would stop me and say, "Has anybody ever told you?" Or they'll stop my parents. "Has anybody ever told you?"
Yes.
So I knew what they're gonna say because I've been getting it for 20 years now.
And what was one of the punches? I'm not Diddy, I'm Puffy. Is that what?
Yeah. So I say, I said I don't even like doing the joke no more because the other night somebody shouted. I said, "Who do I look like?" Somebody shouted out, "Fat Diddy." I was like, "I'm not fat. I'm Puffy. I'm Puffy." Play on the name.
Yeah, exactly.
So that it became a great joke, and it's been killing everywhere I go. It kills.
I remember the first time I was in the audience when you were just like, I look like somebody who's in a lot of trouble right now. And dude, I was dying. Everyone was dying. It was awesome. But then like when you put that video out, like celebrities were sharing it, right?
John Sally shared it.
Yeah.
A lot of people shared it. It has like 150,000 shares, awesome. 80,000 likes.
I love it.
Thousands of comments.
I want to touch more about some social media stuff. Tone, let's just do the second half real quick of the Hershey and Keegs show sponsors. Hershey and the Keegs show is more than proud to be sponsored by Sunray Services, our boy Eric Haft. Now is the best time to convert to hybrid heating and cooling. Call them today at 631-231-5533 or visit them online at www.sunrayservices.com. I know from talking to Eric earlier today, they are busy as hell. People's air conditionings are crashing down. So if you're having any problem getting your system up and running, Eric Haft will help you, him and his people at Sunray. We have Triple M Professional Painting and Construction. James Nocerino, my man, 516-395-6390. Family owned and operated for over 35 years. Call for your free estimate today and ask for James. Then, of course, we have the fine folks over at Dimitri's Valet Cleaners on Wantaw Avenue, right here in beautiful Levittown. They've been in the dry cleaning business since 1965. Tony was only 15 years old then. They take your garment care seriously. Quality is their policy. Mention Hershey and the Keegs Show for 15% off your purchase. So, Mikey, if it's $100 for a purchase and they get 15 off, what are we talking?
$85 you're getting off.
$85 off of the purchase.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you're only spending $15.
$15 on the purchase.
That's not a bad deal.
It's a great deal. We have Demolition Specialists, 1-855 Ripouts. The number you call for demolition, dumpsters, and fence rental. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. They're a fully licensed demolition contractor. Reach out to my boy Scott Advapsky, who had a little arm injury this weekend. I was over at his house, and he broke his arm, and it's a wacky little story, so send Scotty Potty some love. And then last but not least, you might even know this person, I'm not sure, but just hang on, okay?
I'll see.
New York State licensed real estate person Diane Keegan.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. She's from All Island Estates Realty Corporation. You can call Diane directly at 516-458-1864 or email her at diane@allislandestates.com. If you're looking to
Buy,
sell,
adopt,
rent, foster, exactly. Make Diane your
traffic.
first call. Diane Keegan, the beautiful Diane Keegan. We love her. All of our sponsors, we adore. We appreciate you. Make sure you guys call them and call them all with confidence. Okay, so back to social media. Certainly one of our buddies, a guy who was on the show a couple of months ago. It seems like you and our guy, Little Mo Mozzarella, have taken a little bit of a friendship. And how did that whole process evolve? Tell us about that.
Yeah, shout outs to Mo. That's my guy.
Yeah.
He he took me out on his tour, the Most Wanted tour, and so the connection was through Pork Chops, Joey Pork Chops.
Oh,
so,
yeah, Pork.
They grew up in the same neighborhood. And they knew each other since like 8 years old.
Sure.
And I was in Florida at the time, for like a week, and he was like, "Oh, Mo put me on his tour." And there might be an opportunity for a host for some of the shows. So,
Sure.
I put in, I told him about you. I sent him your stuff. Let's see what happened.
Oh, so you hadn't met Mo before that?
I had not met Mo. No,
I thought you met him like from the clubs here and stuff.
No, I met him at a rodeo show, but
Yeah.
Mo. He didn't really. He ain't know me,
he
so
doesn't
he was like,
really-
yeah,
exactly.
he thought I was just somebody trying to get a picture or something. Right. So I didn't. I'm not gonna force the issue, but yeah.
How you doing, Sean Brown? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't meet him till the really meet him till the first show.
Oh, wow, I
we
didn't know that.
Yeah, Albany. So Pork Chops connected us. Then I did the first show Albany, and then we clicked from then.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
He let me do most of the dates.
Yeah.
For that
He's a good
Northeast leg. So it was fun. Yeah, he taught me a lot about social media too.
Dude,
like
he
the
is
inside. He's a beast in social media.
Listen, we had him on, and obviously, people when they watched him on our show, I think they were expecting, and we weren't, but people were expecting, "How you doing?" And he was the guy who was a former engineer in his day business, very bright guy, and he knows when to post, when not to post. He knows everything about it. So the fact that he's teaching you that obviously is wonderful, and I can tell from the videos that he's posted of you guys that you've actually formed a real friendship.
Yeah,
which
I talk
is
to him
nice.
like every day. Almost every day we talk.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It'll be quick conversations because when you gotta get off the phone, you just say, "Oh, I gotta go." But he taught me a lot about social media. He gave me the opportunity to perform at clubs I didn't even have on my radar.
Yeah.
We did Philly, we did Rhode Island,
Amazing.
Jersey.
Very
So it was a good time, and Pork Chop being there. Me and Pork Chop, we got really close over the past year. Does a lot of my stuff too, so I appreciate both of them.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So you have dates coming up with those guys? Is there anything coming up in the future? Or
So he's not going back out till September.
Okay.
Yeah, so he took a pause. So yeah, we'll see.
Pork did or Mo did?
No, Mo did. Yeah, Mo.
Okay.
So yeah, he did maybe 30 dates.
Oh, he was. I mean, he was out there every freaking night. It seemed like.
From
Yeah.
March to June.
Yeah.
That the first leg, and now the next leg, he got a bunch of dates all
Yeah.
over the country: Florida, Cali,
Unbelievable.
Denver, Carolina, Chicago.
So I think we've talked about this on the show before with a guy like Mo or anyone who has become social media famous before comedy famous. I think I've noticed that he's working harder on his stand up because you can sell tickets based on the fact that you're doing the stuff you do on social.
Yeah.
But now for the second run, you have to make sure that you're bringing it on stage and you're doing the stuff.
Yeah, you have to.
So I'm sure that's without even talking to Mark, I'm assuming that that's what's happening right now. That he's kind of like
he's taking it seriously. He takes it really seriously.
Yeah, this is
he
no.
writes,
He
practices.
People think that this is just some guy who's doing he's a sharp guy. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He knows the character he wants to put out there.
Yeah.
And people could rip you apart. But he really is taking it seriously.
Yeah, he's taking it super serious. But just like any comedian, it's growing pains. You got to be on the stage to different scenarios. Something happens. So he's learning just like any
live performance.
Any comedian that has less than 100 shows on his belt.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
I think he stepped on the stage for the first time like December 13th, 2024.
I was at the first show he ever hosted. It was in Long Beach, and it was just when he was starting to kind of blow up on social media. And they had this show at the Ugly Duckling in Long Beach,
right?
And it was the first time he ever hosted a show, and it was cool. It was like me, him, Aaron Berg, a couple other guys from the Kumia Network, and it was a big Italian following because that's what we brought out there. So it was cool. That was the first time he hosted. That was probably a couple of years ago. I don't remember.
I think the important thing when it comes to Mo is that he's done 100 shows or less. But he's also not doing 10 minutes. He's up there
doing 45
He's
minutes.
doing time, which, so, for most comics, you go up and you're doing 5 minutes 50 times or 8 minutes or whatever the case may be. You're at mics, or you're getting little opportunities here and there, but no one's giving you chunks of 20 minutes when you're first starting out.
It
just
took me
doesn't
a decade
happen.
to do 45 minutes.
Yeah, so
I'm still working on a solid 45, So it's a tough position to be in because selling tickets, he sells those tickets.
You can sell the tickets, but also you got to be up there for 45 minutes and keep them entertained.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. We talked about this on the show. The hate comments and all the negative detractors.
He hears it all.
He doesn't, but he don't give a shit. He doesn't give two shits about it. It inspires him. It motivates him. And what it means is people are still watching.
They're definitely watching.
If there's 1,000 comments, if there's 1,000 comments, good, bad, or indifferent, they watched something just now.
Yeah, that's
true.
And
isn't that what the ticket is?
They're watching.
That's the point of it. They watching.
It feeds
that's the
algorithm,
ticket.
And
every negative comment feeds the algorithm. So they're pushing them out to more people every time they comment negative
that's
stuff.
That's it. That's good, man.
But it's been dope because so it was like the perfect storm of things happening. Because I was on the PBS storytelling show.
Yeah.
That happened. Then a week later, I'm opening for Mo, hosting for Mo.
Yeah.
Then that led to a lot of followers too. Because if he posts me on his story, followers, especially if they were at the show. I was getting a lot of followers from the shows.
So were you noticing, like, we've noticed, like, a couple of years ago, we had this autistic kid named Drawings by Trent is the family, and they have, I think, 3 million followers, and we via Zoom, we had the mom, the dad, the sister, and Trent, and he drew a picture for us during the show, and we were getting massive, like, I think that video had like 30,000 views, but we were getting chunks of followers from it at the time. So you'll wake up in the morning, you'll see another 500 follows or whatever the case may be.
Especially after like the most shows, I would get the people that followed me like right off the stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, it was more than I ever got. Because he's packing the place out. Then he'll post like a thank you. These are the people on the show, and I'll get another chunk of followers from that post. Yeah. And it's just been growing ever since. But the Diddy thing was crazy. Yeah, like it was followers like nonstop for like I'm still getting followers and views to this day. It's been over a month. And I'm still consistently getting followers from that reel.
And do you once in a while like just reshare it, retweet, resend it out, or you're trying to be careful about that?
I kind of got over it. Like I'm ready for the next thing now. You know?
Exactly. No, that's what it is.
Even I'm supposed to put it out again, but I'm like,
you gotta evolve.
So I mean, obviously the Diddy thing help to jump, but what if, do you have other ideas as far as Diddy material, like walking up there saying I got out, I got
I got a whole nother 15 minutes on Diddy now.
So,
when that happened, I gotta write some more stuff on it.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely writing more stuff. I'm still doing the joke, but the joke's evolved because now he's acquitted for most of the charges. He's gonna be coming out, and there's other stuff that I'm doing too. Just based around the whole Diddy thing. So
I wonder what happened. You went out there with like your hair white like him now.
People told me to do that. Yeah, like go out there, put powder in your hair. I've gotten a million requests to do Diddy skits, things like that.
I wonder if you're going to start getting offers to get hired as a Diddy impersonator at like people's parties,
probably, right?
And you're like,
people sent me clothes,
baby oil, spokesman.
All this crazy stuff started happening.
And you're turning it all down. They're like, "We'll give you $5,000 to come to a party." Okay, I'll do it.
Some of the requests was crazy. Somebody wanted me to come out to Vegas to do something. I mean, I would do it, but I'm like, you saw a minute and 30 seconds of my stand up. Like, you don't.
Right.
This is how things go wrong. You bring somebody out, you pay them a lot of money, and they suck.
I know.
Because you only seen a clip. So that's why
Are you out there? You ever get stopped? You getting recognized yet from social?
Yeah,
from
I got stopped a couple of times.
What's that? What is that like? Like, are you
it feels
totally?
great. I never get used to that feeling.
Yeah,
I never get used to that feeling. I was in the airport. They're like, "Oh, are you the Diddy guy?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's me." Fat Jay was he was on a road trip. He FaceTimed. Somebody stopped him and said, "Oh, you're from Long Island? Do you know the Diddy comedian?" He's like, "Yeah."
That's awesome.
So people hit me up. They're like, when they find out, I'm from Long Island, the other Long Island comics, they'll tell me like, "Yo, somebody asked me that I know you."
Dude, isn't that the best feeling in the world?
It's crazy. Yeah. I was watching the Knicks game at in Garden City at a restaurant. Somebody tapped me on the shoulder. They're like, "Are you the Diddy?" It keeps happening. So it's cool that people, recognize me and come up to me.
Well, soon enough, people are going to go to Diddy like, "Are you the Sean Brown guy?"
That's right. So speaking of to Jay's obviously a good buddy of ours, and I would say this was like 2 months ago. I had a show on a Sunday night, and then I went on Monday to my day job, and one of my coworkers who was supposed to come to the show, she didn't show up. And I'm like, "What happened?" She's like, "Oh, we wound up going to Governor's on Saturday night, and I didn't want to go again." And she's like, "By any chance, do you know this guy, Fat Jay?" She said to me, and I'm like, "Yeah, he's like one of my good buddies, So she's like, "You really know him?" Like, they love Jay Set. They love Jay Set. So I'm like, "All right, I'll just fucking FaceTime him, And I FaceTime him, and she's like, "Oh my God, that's him!" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Maybe you should come to fucking my show. Don't start worrying about Jay."
Exactly.
So
Jay's amazing. He's one of my closest friends in comedy too. Like, I love Jay. He's been showing me love. I remember before I took a break from comedy, I was producing shows, and Jay was like, "Oh, I want to do your shows. I want to specifically do your show." Because I had I had more black people in the crowd. Like, I would kill at a crowd like this.
He does.
Then I left. I came back to comedy, and Jay's crushing in the fundraiser shows. Crushing. I'm like, yo, he's crushing.
Yeah, Jay is albino black. He is. He really is. There's no question about it.
You know,
So
I'm happy for Jay. You know,
Yeah.
he deserves. He worked hard. You know, he's funny.
He worked his
Listen,
ass
man,
off.
we
and-
love the guy, and he actually. I mean, I don't. Did he hook us up with Silvio, or you knew Silvio on your own? But we had Silvio last week on the show. And we're actually going to be doing some skits with Silvio and Jay.
Yeah, he does good skits.
Yeah,
Both of
so
them,
you know, maybe if we can figure something out, we'll incorporate you if you want to do part
I'm
of
down.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
anything
You know?
for the Long Island community. Trying to
Yeah, exactly. That's
push
what it
us
is. We all got to
forward,
do
you
stuff
know?
together, man. You know, if one of us is, you know, doing some good stuff, we all have to bring each other in.
I agree wholeheartedly.
That's what I've been trying to do, you know, for
from
everybody
jump.
and,
Yeah,
so.
I've seen it. You know, you booked a lot of comedians on your
Yeah.
stuff too. You know, so.
Mikey has springboarded a lot of comedians except for himself.
Except for myself.
But you know, it's actually, and of course I'm joking, but you know, Mike started out now. It's going on. Is it 13 years soon or 12 years? What is it, Mike?
13, yeah.
So one of my greatest joys, obviously, aside from doing the show with Mike for the past 3.5 years, is sometimes just sitting in the back of the room and watching him and seeing how he's evoluted, how his act is so much better, just from a number of standpoints, his stage presence, his likability, all that stuff. So I'm like, it's my little baby up there. Yeah, he totally fucking killing it.
Gave
But
birth to me.
and but the best thing is that Mike is happy to help someone else and make sure that he's not just looking out for himself. He's looking out for other people also. He's helping people get spots.
That's what it's all about.
But I think part of that is because you learned, like, we always talk about Carrie Carabas. When I started, Carrie was like really good to me. And my first show, she was on the show. And same thing with you. And even Silvio was talking about the same thing. So
Yeah, especially in this small circle that we have here, it always comes back around.
it does. It does.
People that I've helped, like, you know, Jay, like, you know, I'm not patting myself on the back, but Fat Jay, he'll always say, you know, I wouldn't be working these clubs if you didn't sit me down, because he came up to me, he's like, how do I get in the club? I'm like, dude, you just got to spend some time here. You're
Yeah.
funny enough, but you got to spend time here. You got to hang out here on Thursdays and Sundays. Be nice to the staff. And now nobody loves...
Right.
The staff loves nobody more than they love Jay.
Yeah.
And he's here every weekend, and that's what it is. And
But
people have done that with me, and that's how I got into clubs and other clubs and everything. So
But part of the issue is that for the first year and a half that Jay was here, he was saying he was Mike Keegan on stage. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Now I say I'm Fat Jay.
right,
Yeah.
you're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't I just see you on? And when you guys are on the same show, like, wait, you're gonna do another set? All new
Does
material?
everybody go up twice?
and change his shirt? That's it. He's a class act,
Yeah.
and
He's one of those guys that I've never heard anybody say anything bad about.
no, never, not except behind his back, obviously.
Yeah, not to his face, yeah.
Which, all kidding aside, though, Sean, how do you deal with, or do you not even give it a second thought for the people that aren't so kind and aren't so willing to look out for you, and the people who are looking to step on your neck, because we know that they're out there?
Oh, yeah,
What's
of
your
course,
take
yeah.
on that?
Just don't give it no energy. Just can't give it no energy. Yeah.
Nothing.
You know. We're all human. You know, you might feel away, but, you know,
Yeah.
to like give it energy. Because what is it really doing for you? If it's not helping me pay my bills, get funny, get stage
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
I just try to stay away from it. And we see that a lot on the scene, you know, Long Island comedy scene.
It's
You
a
see-
ton of it on the scene.
Yeah,
and you're a
people trying to
guy.
step on necks.
You're the kind of guy like I try to be, and like Jay is. Like we fly under the radar. We don't want to. We don't piss anybody off. And that's really how to get in. You know, network with people in this business. No,
Yeah.
you're another guy. I never heard anyone say anything bad about Sean Brown. You know, and you. Yeah.
Usually the negative stuff about me is from Tony, though. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
fair that is.
Tony hates you.
Yeah. But other than that, one of the videos while I was doing my research to prepare for today, I didn't realize it, but apparently you're a big Knicks fan like I am.
Yeah, I love the Knicks.
And so let's talk for a second, just off comedy for a second, because obviously the Knicks, it's been a kind of a whirlwind. They were looking amazing. Thibodeau, the whole thing. Game 1, Pacers, a fucking calamity happened. I called it that day saying that this could get him fired, and it did. The fact that we're at where we're at, and now we got Coach Brown there. After watching interviews with him recently, I'm kind of jacked up about it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
wasn't really at first, but let's hear a little bit about your take Knicks-wise as far as how you felt the way its season ended, Tibbs going, and now Coach Brown in there.
Yeah, definitely disappointed. Cause Indiana, I felt like we could have taken Indiana.
Absolutely.
We lost to Boston. I mean, we beat Boston
yeah.
to lose to Indiana. That was like, that kind of sucked. And
Yeah.
they beat us last year, so it stung even more.
Absolutely.
I thought we had the right team to go to the finals and be competitive in the finals this year. Didn't happen at game 1. The game
That was
one
it.
screwed us. Yeah,
It was a
game
killer.
one killed us.
Yeah.
I wish we had game one back. Game one
Changed
killed
the
That
whole
us.
just kills the
picture.
momentum. They
Yeah.
got the momentum going in there.
Put pressure on us. Indiana played the ass off. I'm excited though. We got the right roster to win.
I think Mike Brown has the right temperament as a coach.
I hope
coming
so.
in there,
Because he's done very well with.
I mean, listen, you're
franchises,
coach
but-
of the year a couple of times. You've won championships as an assistant. You've been there under great guys. But when you saw on the ticker that day, Thibodeau fire, were you like floored? I was like, at first I was like, holy fuck, like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was shocked. I kind of was shocked because he made it pretty deep. Every year he got better. The team got better.
Absolutely.
We made it farther.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was gonna happen. If it did happen, not that early.
Right.
I thought they would let him play out the beginning of the season and see how it
Absolutely.
goes.
Yeah.
But then I kind of saw the other side of it because maybe he reached his peak. Maybe he peaked out. It's the farthest he could go.
So my take, what I found is that they made this move right after they had the end meetings with the players, and then they made the move like the next day. So all the media talks bullshit. They were saying that it was definitely James Dolan stepping in, and I never bought that for 1 second. I don't think James Dolan would have made a move like that. I think what happened was, after hearing a lot of shit, Leon Rose and Thibs, their relationship soured after 30-something years. But I'm pretty sure maybe other than Brunson, Josh Hart and a couple other these guys were saying that he's losing the room, and the fact that he was not playing veteran players, the 7th and 8th guys on the bench, until he was throwing up, guys who hadn't played the whole freaking year, and now they were playing in Game 6. I think that was his death nail right there. So I think it was the players. I think now that we can look back, it was the move that they needed to make. I kind of expected them to get someone different. I thought they were going to make a move on Mike Malone. Were you surprised that it went from Mike Malone to Jason Kidd to all these guys, and it trickled all the way down to Coach Brown? Were you surprised about that?
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't see Coach Brown in the bingo card. I didn't see
Yeah.
that happening. I was like, Mike Brown. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I like Mike Brown as a coach, though. I do like him as a coach.
I mean, you
in
don't
general.
just win Coach of the Year multiple
Twice,
times. And, he led teams pretty far. I mean, he didn't win a championship as a head coach, but he led them pretty far.
Yeah.
So maybe, we've seen this happen in sports where Buck Showalter brought the Yankees to all the way to the brink of almost making to the ALCS in '95, and then Joe Torre took over and he started winning championships.
Yeah, because he had a already built championship
Yeah,
team.
but I mean,
Yeah,
but maybe he was the guy, or definitely he was the guy to make it
the
happen.
catalyst to actually push it that far.
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors. We saw it with them.
Same thing. Mark Jackson's there, and then Coach, Kerr comes in, and it's
run
all.
off a dynasty.
So maybe maybe that was what it took to just make it happen. Maybe Torrey was the same deal. He was a Coach Brown. He had been a good coach, never won a world championship as a coach before, as a manager. Then all of a sudden, he proved that he was a 4-time champion manager. Yeah. So maybe we're talking in the next year or two, especially with the Celtics and Tatum down. Like the Knicks have a shot to get there through the East again.
Yeah,
right?
The East keeps getting better.
It does.
It's like everything has
Orlando,
to happen.
the
Perfect.
Pistons.
Yeah,
I know. I agree.
Damn. The
But-
East getting better.
But they made a couple of
Detroit.
moves, though. They've gotten Clarkson. I mean, there's a couple of little moves that they're making right now that I think they have. I think this group right now has another good run or two in it.
Me too, yeah.
I don't think they have more than that, simply because when you have a guy like Brunson who's going to get old quick because he gets beat up every day,
Yeah, some more.
Towns gets old quick. But I think we have a shot. And maybe I hope I'm not being an over an optimist because it's not usually my style, but I think they have a shot in the next year or two to really just go ahead and at least get back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I definitely think they got a shot. You know, like I said, Tatum is down. Philly is always a wild card.
Right.
Yeah, who knows what happened with Philly. Indiana lost a big piece.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Will they be back? Who knows?
We'll see what happens there. All right.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yeah,
That's what
we
they
just
say.
gotta wait. The only thing that sucks, we gotta wait so long.
I know.
We hope nobody gets hurt.
I know. It's so true. No one gets shot, killed,
Yeah,
nothing like
right?
that.
Like gambling ban.
Yeah. Hotels. Like when you were in the hotel dragging that woman. Oh, that was. I'm so confused. I get so
looking like
fucking
that's my
confused.
doppelganger.
Yeah. So we got a couple of minutes left. I just want to talk, and we talk a lot with our guests about this. Like you're sitting here, you're really at just the beginning of this. What what's left for you in your mind? Like, do you have certain goals where you want to be here at this point? You want to be doing this at this point, or are you just taking it day by day?
I've been taking it day by day, but I want to get more strategic with it.
Okay.
You know, like everything that's happening is happening for a reason. You know, it's not by coincidence.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to be the person who blows the opportunity. Like, it's right in front of you. You just got to work a little harder, write more, get on more stage.
Hot. You have that meteoric, a couple months there, and just keep building on that.
Yeah, so I'm definitely, I'm past that West Side now. When one of my goals was to be past that,
way to go! Congratulations.
Club. Thank you, appreciate that.
That's really nice, man. Good.
I got great relationships from being on the road with Mo, with managers and owners from the different clubs.
You're a mainstay here at the Governor's Club.
Yeah, so I'm here all the time.
Yeah,
I get on stage here whenever I won't say whenever I want to, but most of the times I'm here.
Yeah.
I get thrown the bone. I get on stage.
Yeah.
I get booked now. I host.
Yeah.
I started featuring recently, which that was a goal of mine.
That's huge, man.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I can feature now. Yeah, like, that's different. So hopefully, I get enough material, a solid 45, start headlining here, and just keep pushing. Keep pushing. No matter what happens, you just gotta stay on stage, stay funny, and be good to people. Like I said, I'm just like Mike. I try to give opportunities.
Yeah.
But mad funny comedy. I produce my own shows.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I try to get as much people on as I can. And like even the newer comics, I'm not one of those comics. I'm not like a vulture. I don't want to put them on a show just because they're gonna bring a bunch of people. I really give them feedback. I come to their shows. I want to build a community where we're all growing.
Yep, that's the biggest thing. I love putting newer comics on, and like you said, not just because they could bring people out, but I like if I put a show together, everybody on the show is somebody I want to hang out with in the room.
Mike, when we've done shows, we're very good at bringing comics in who never bring.
Exactly.
They can't.
Me too. Yeah, I'm good for that too.
They tell us they're going to bring and they don't, and we still put them on.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
Mike and I have done that very well. How many does that kid bring in? Well, he had one person, but he got in an accident on the way here.
Yeah. You got to be strategic when you book shows. Don't get me wrong. It's a fine line of being like a vulture and being strategic.
All I ask when I book a show
man.
is just help spread the word.
Me too. Yeah.
Just promote the show. Help me promote the show. I'm not gonna make you bring 5 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Just share the flyer. That's it. And then if people come, they come. If they don't, that's what happens in the business.
Yeah. Likewise.
Sean, when you get you keep on talking about pushing and pushing and pushing, but we know the mental anguish of a comic. You're a comic because you've suffered. That's just the way it is. We know that already. What drives you? Are you a man of faith? Like what is it that keeps you going?
Yeah, I'm a man of faith. I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And when you get opportunities from, I believe in karma. You put good energy out, you get good energy back.
You're an energy guy.
Yeah, and I think I'm funny. I think I have good stage presence and I'm likable. So all I got to do is write funny jokes. So I just, sometimes I procrastinate the writing.
Yeah.
But then when I write something, like I wrote the Diddy thing on a whim. I just did it. I'm like, damn, I should be writing more.
Isn't that bad? Some of those jokes that you just write them and they're stage ready.
Yeah, that was the Diddy joke.
Yeah.
I just went up there, so I had the glasses. I'm like, let me try putting these glasses on and surprising the crowd.
Exactly,
and that first reaction, once you get them hooked up front, they'll believe in you. They'll trust you to take them for the ride.
Yeah.
If they buy into you at the beginning, you can sail away. As long as you're not giving shit material, as long as you're giving them something, you're going to be in good shape. And I think I love that you use the word likability. We talk about likability on this show all the time, all the time.
It matters.
And I said this about Mike when he first started. I remember watching him that you cannot teach likability to a comic. You can be doing. I mean, there are comics that are out there and they're pretty successful, but the crowd does not feel a way about them. And certainly I watched a shitload of your clips today. You can just tell that your self-deprecating process that you do, the crowd just eating out of your hands, which is so important. And it also makes it more fun as a comic to be able to know that that they like you. Being laughed at and being liked are two different things. They don't always go hand in hand.
Because some comics don't believe they should be likable, which is all right. Some comics are not their goal.
Yeah, that's what they think their voice is and everything.
Yeah,
I think you have to earn that.
You have to earn that. Yeah,
you have to earn to not be like. You have to start out like Jim Norton's a great example. When Jim Norton started out, he was a very, very squeaky clean comic, and then once people started realizing, oh, he's very talented and the things he say are funny. Then he could be the real person he is the fucking maniac.
Yeah. Same thing with Chappelle.
But he's like, yeah, exactly.
He started out very likable,
but you earned being able to say use your voice because he is the dirty guy.
Yeah,
he couldn't do that in the beginning. And a lot of comics don't get that. Like even me when I started, I wanted to be like a super dirty Andrew Dice Clay, blah blah blah. That's not me to begin with. That's the character I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But you still, when you're going up there like that to begin with, when you're very green, it's not going to work out. And likability also goes past the audience liking you. It's the staff. You're not going to be. You're not going to get anywhere if the staff at the clubs don't like you.
100%.
I know plenty of comics that are actually really good, and the staff hates them.
I know.
And I'll sit at the bar, at clubs that I'm at, and the staff, this guy again, tip the wait staff, tip the bartenders, be nice to them. That's all it does. Be friendly and please and thank you. Like I know even like Fat Jay doesn't drink, but he'll drink a Coke, 2 Cokes and tip $20. Exactly.
So it's interesting. I think you can be a dick on stage once the audience knows that you're not a dick.
Yeah.
Like, so Jim Norton can do whatever the hell he wants on stage because the people know that genuinely he's not an asshole.
Yeah.
So, but that takes a little time. I was always surprised when I used to sit in the green room here 15 years ago, and I would hear certain comics talk about how they walked the crowd the other day. They walked, and I'm like, why would you ever want to do that?
Yeah, I know.
Brag about that. Yeah.
That's the worst thing in the world. You think the owners are liking that?
I know.
Exactly. The emails the next day.
Yep. You got to refund people.
Yeah,
and they
I
don't
just
want
yeah.
that. And they people wear that as a badge of honor. Like they couldn't handle me.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And listen, certainly we're not going to mention any names, but I was on a show not that long ago, and I found like a couple of the comics were saying, if you couldn't handle that one, well, wait for this one.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want them?
Hacky segue.
Like, why? But why do you want your audience not to handle anything? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
And why do you want to threaten them with something that's coming? Like, just do your shit.
Yeah.
Do your time. Let them like you. Let them laugh. You don't have to do little segues like that about what's coming. Then you're going to be up there. They know it's coming. It's coming.
Exactly.
You don't got to warn them that it's going to be something horrific that they're going to want to walk out of the fucking room. Just do your shit.
Yep.
Just do your time. Respect the light. Everything. Put the mic back in the fucking stand the way you found it. Don't leave the stage a wreck. Just
those
do
are
the things
people
you have
that are
to
like,
do.
oh, you can't say anything anymore. You can say anything you want up there, but you have to know how to say it.
Yeah.
Listen, you do a joke about your mother being a rapist.
Exactly.
But it's funny.
And you get away with it because
funny,
but you set it up in a way that it's cute. It's funny. It's your little Italian mom is a raper.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. But some people go up there and they're just like so abrasive with it.
Right.
Just,
get ready for this. I'm going to tell you my mom's a raper.
Yeah,
no, you don't need to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just tell the fucking bit.
Yeah.
Do the bit.
And that
that's
comes
what
with time. It comes with learning how to do it. Because, like I said, a lot of comics, they try. The new thing now is being edgy. People want to be super edgy, and they think, I'm the edgiest comic out here.
Right.
And it's like, it's edgy, not funny at all.
That's right.
That's not the goal that you're aiming for. But I've seen really edgy comics be super funny.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all in the setup, the delivery.
But again, you can be edgy, but you have to have some chops before being edgy.
Yeah.
You have to be able to establish yourself. Like Lewis Black talks about it. Like he was a much different comic for a long time, and then he became Lewis Black, and then he could say whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah.
Because he was Lewis Black.
Yeah, you
but
earned that.
he also did it for 30 years or 20 years, and then he was able to do it.
Yeah, you gotta earn
so I think that earning it is important to talk about, where some people want to just go ahead and jump it without earning their stripes. There's a certain protocol that you have to follow, and then you can go ahead and take chances and you can cross lines. But don't be an open mic talking about things that you have no business talking about, where the audience is going to be real sketch about what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Right?
Comedy's a sickness. I've seen comics do the worst jokes, edgiest jokes, and they come off stage and they're like, "Oh, that was great."
Yeah.
I know,
And I'm
right?
looking at the crowd. I'm like, "What?"
So
I'm
much
like,
delusion. Like, did
Yeah.
you watch the same set I just watched?
and they come back and do it again, and the same thing happens, and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So I love that you brought that up, and this is also something that Mike and I usually talk about off stage, not on. But one of the things that I'm, in a weird way, always very impressed about is comics who repeatedly go up there and eat it, and they just keep on going back up, and it's almost like you know what body dysmorphia is, where someone thinks that they're skinny when they're fat, or vice versa. Like it's a thing where they're like,
It's funny dysmorphia.
like I just like
true.
I just fucking killed it, and I'm like, you literally killed someone.
I know. It doesn't make sense to me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know.
some people are not self-aware. That's what I realized from doing comedy. Some people
is,
really have
man.
zero self-awareness.
Man,
These people I'll see, I'm like, why are you still doing this to
too.
yourself?
I'm like, oh.
I would would be embarrassed.
I'm overly self-aware. When I'm up there, like I can have a good show, and I'm just like focusing on that motherfucker who was staring at me, who wanted to murder me.
Me too. I'm the same way. I'm like,
Yeah.
Still to this day, 100% of the time when I go on stage, I walk up there thinking everybody hates me.
Yeah.
And then once I get that first laugh, then I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. There's like I did a show.
No, that
the
you
other
were right
day.
in the first place.
Exactly. I did a show the other night. It was like a 55 and over community, but it was like 75 and over, and it was outdoors during the day.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is gonna be brutal. They're gonna hate me. They're all
Yeah.
older. They're not gonna relate, and everything, even the dirty kind of stuff.
It worked.
It works, and then but that's my mentality. As every single time I go on stage, I'm like, they don't like me.
I wish I could tell a story similar, but I don't know if you ever did The Room. Rich Walker, in the condo complex he lives in.
Yeah, on the tennis court.
Yeah, the tennis court, and he did the same thing. So he booked, this is years ago, he booked me, Monty, and Haft on the show.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's going to be all people my age or your age, 40s, 50s, whatever the case may be. And I get there, and it was like the fucking cast of Cocoon. It was just like people, and let me tell you, they disdained me. Like, my shit is all like about my kids and PTA, and they just want to know part of me. So I was very self-aware.
Yeah.
And the way the story goes is that I got paid $80 for that gig, and then Monty asked me to drive him back to Governor's because his car was over here, and I live in Levittown, and I wasn't paying attention, and I blew through a red light on the way home, and I got a ticket for $80. Yeah,
you didn't deserve that $80.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, when I had it sent, I'm like, yeah, it felt right.
Felt
Like,
right, yeah.
I deserved it. Did you want to say something, Tone? I saw.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
had a quick question, if
Yeah.
you guys don't mind.
Please.
When talking about these comedians that don't do well up there, and they keep coming back,
Yeah.
and they're
Oh,
continually
shit, did we say
sucking.
that in front of Tony?
Yeah, when you talking about me,
No, no.
Do you feel that hurts like the whole local scene? Like, do you feel it makes like just the whole genre look bad? Like maybe people won't go to see you at a restaurant because they went to some other show and they thought it was
that's
shit.
interesting.
I think if it's one of those shows where like the majority of comics are kind of like that are like these bar shows these pop up bar shows. Yeah, it does, because also those people that are not self aware are the ones that don't really get up that much, and they have friends that'll go see them, and their friends will bring friends, and they'll be like, "That's a comedy show." Because a lot of times I'll do a lot of shows, and people have never been to a comedy show before.
Yeah,
and they go to some of these pop up shows where like. It's just the back of a bar, and the shows don't go well, and they're not going to come out to a regular club to see good comics. So I think it ultimately.
What do you
does
think
hurt.
about that, Sean? I'll
100%.
give my opinion. Yeah,
100% hurts. It definitely hurts the scene in general, because like Mike said, if you've never seen comedy before and this is your first experience and it's horrible show, you're not gonna come spend money at Governor's. You're gonna be like, oh, this is what especially in Long Island, you might be like, oh, I have to go to Manhattan to get a good show if this is what comedy is.
Exactly.
So it's
big name.
Yeah, it's harder. It's harder to get. Like, I know people still to this day that some of my good friends that have never come see me, but Sebastian Maniscalco's coming around. They're going there.
That drives us crazy.
Exactly. It drives me
So,
nuts.
Tony, my take, and we're going to wrap up after this, but my take on it is that I enjoy watching it. And part of me is like, I like the stick-to-itiveness that people have. And I'll sit and I'll watch and I'll be like, God damn, this is just fucking horrendous. But then the fact that they keep on doing it, I don't know if it's what Sean just said, which is they're lacking self-awareness, or they're really just pushing. Like, they're just really trying to make it. So I do root for the underdog in life. And I'm always impressed. Like, for me, fortunately, in the years I've been doing it, I've done pretty well most of the time. But the times that I've done badly in front of the PTA crowd at my kid's school 10 years ago, which was horrific, or the Rich Walker, like, I will think about those at night 10 years later, like that was just a horrific experience.
It hurts. It's supposed to hurt, My problem not with them doing it again, is with them not getting any better, or trying to get better, or taking a step to get better.
You got to start somewhere. It's like an entry level job. If people are only going to hire experienced workers, then nobody's gonna have a job. People do have to start out like that, but it should, like I think what Tony's talking about, it's like one of those shows where it's all new people, or it's just where it's that one new guy, or not even new guy, that one guy that's been doing this for 5 or 6 years, does the same awful 10 minutes over and over and over, and tries to be edgy. That's what Tony's talking about. It's gonna hurt.
But you know what hurts more? It's not even like the bar shows. It's like when they do shows like in the giggle room. So we got it's on the producers a lot of the time too. Like, people got to produce more responsibly, because if they see a show in the giggle room, they're gonna think that's how comedy is at Governor's. If it's up a horror show.
Yeah, sometimes
Exactly.
people come in, if the main room is packed out, they'll just go.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that the Giggle Room is an independently produced. They think because they're in Governors, they're going to get top notch.
Yeah.
And then they see some of the stuff that goes on in
So-
there, and they're like, "What the hell?"
I honestly think that I'm probably they're much better to ask than me because I don't perform as much as I used to.
I was looking at mine.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even speak. I'll end
Yeah, I
the
didn't
show.
even know you were going to say anything.
It'll be the Sean Brown and Keegs show next week. This is it for me. I'm all done. But yeah, so I'm not the right person to ask because I like watching the train wreck. And again, in my mind, I'm thinking
I
it's
enjoy
because-
as a comic. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy watching somebody try to be edgy and filthy, and then they just bomb. I love watching it, but audiences that are paying to come in. And
that makes sense. I just enjoy the stick-to-itiveness that people are so tone deaf that they're not paying attention to what's going on in the audience. Like if I hear silence when I'm up there, I'm fucking mortified. So
you know how I know stuff because I've seen somebody have a horrible set, and the next day I seen the set posted on Facebook. I'm like, oh,
I know exactly why you.
Then I get a message like, oh, here's my set. I would love to do one of your shows. I'm like, oh,
That's what you're sending me.
damn.
That's what you're putting on social media.
I moved to Florida.
I'm back in Florida with Gabriel.
I stopped. I'm under the ladder right now. Sorry.
because I'm so critical. I won't put nothing up unless I think it's actually,
Absolutely.
But
That's good shit, man.
That's I mean, it's the Long Island scene, but it's comedy in general. I'm sure this happens all across the country.
I'm sure.
These.
I'm sure it actually happens worse in other places because this is the comedy capital
It's the
here.
Mecca
So
of comedy, yeah.
I would imagine like an open mic in West Virginia must be a fucking bloodbath.
Imagine, right? Yo, I can't even believe what they go through out there.
Yeah, I've done shows like in other, in like the Midwest and stuff.
You're the prettiest girl in West Virginia.
This is true. But they'll put up some of like the local house MCs and stuff that they have, and it is pretty brutal. But they do. It's funny because they'll do kind of well there because that's the kind of. But it
bar's
works
so
better
low.
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know this guy that what's his name? Dan Guerin, who does shows upstate.
Yeah.
So Dan Guerin, like he winds up hosting like almost a lot of these shows up there, and it's because he's one of the few comics that can actually do the job up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he
It
opened
works
for
out.
Downey for like a month straight in Albany,
I know,
like
exactly,
60 shows in a row.
Yeah, see, he's always at the Comedy Works.
Yeah,
in
because
Saratoga
there's
and-
not that much to choose from.
Yeah.
And Dan is a capable
and
comic.
he's a very good comic.
And he's a fucking great guy.
He's clean, nice guy,
Yeah.
very good comic.
Absolutely, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But
It's funny, like he comments on a lot of my Facebook stuff, and a lot of times when comics will comment on my Facebook, like they're always trying to like one up the joke or anything.
He's not like that.
He's batting 1,000 with like funny comments that he
Yeah.
has to it. He's always
he's
great.
just a class act. He's a nice guy. And well, speaking of nice guy, our hour plus with Sean Brown fucking fired through. I have never, I've met Sean a couple of times over, done a couple of shows, but this was kind of much more than I even expected. What a delightful young man. We're super happy to have you. Thank you for your time. Give us a little bit of promotion. Tell us what's happening. Promote all your social shit, and let's talk about it.
Definitely. Well, shout out to the Herschy and Keegs show for bringing me out here.
Boom.
Support
Anytime.
that. Subscribe,
Yeah.
like, comment on
Boom.
that. And so Mad Funny Comedy, that's my comedy brand. I produce shows out of that. You could see that on Mad Funny Comedy, Instagram, TikTok. I got a show at McGuire's Friday, 10:30 show, July 18th. If you're free, support that. Come out. We got some funny comics in the show. And you can find me.
Govs.com for tickets for July 18th.
Yes,
for Mad Funny.
Govs.com. You can find me social media, Sean B Comedy. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me. What a great night.
Yeah.
Shout outs to y'all.
No, thank you
Love
for
it.
coming, man.
Mikey boy, what you got?
Ooh, tomorrow night I'll be at Talk at Trails End in Montauk with
Chris Monty, which is like
and
your
Hugh Murray.
wife at this point.
Seriously, we've
You're
done
with
so
him
many
every
shows.
goddamn day.
This past week I did like 3 shows with that guy.
I love it.
Thursday night I'll be at Pico La Bussola in Huntington with Chris Monty,
Of course.
and Joey Cola's on that one
Oh,
too.
killer show.
That'll be fun. And then
Good.
I do really want to just start pushing August 1st and 2nd. I'll be headlining Catch a Rising Star in Princeton.
Yes. Nice.
So even if you're from Long Island, New York, take a trip out there. Princeton's awesome. It's a beautiful town.
Right.
Come spend the weekend. But Catch a Rising Star in Princeton. Look on their socials. You buy tickets there. But August 1st and 2nd.
I love it. I have. I'm going to be here on Governors on Thursday, August 14th. I know a bunch of my friends are already coming down to see me, so go to govs.com. Make sure you're getting tickets for Thursday Night Funnies in the main room. It's going to be a great show. Anthony, what do you got for Knock 'em Dead Comedy, my man?
Real quick, there's 2 shows I'd like to push, if you don't mind.
Please.
August 1st through the 10th at the Belmore Showplace, there's going to be a production of A Bronx Tale.
Wow.
And all the proceeds are going to the Nassau County PAL Special Needs Unit.
Oof.
Oh, wow, nice.
Chaz Palminteri is involved. He's going to be doing something on the August 2nd show only.
Okay.
I think it's like a video chat thing, but he is involved, and it's a great cause. So come on down.
Good.
October 4th, in the Giggle Room, Tony Walker and friends, Joe Pacino, Alec Quinn, Mike Pacetti, and we're going to be adding a few others. We'll be adding some others onto that.
And just
show as
one note for the Bronx Tale thing, Tony is playing Calogero for the
young
August
Calogero,
1st,
yeah.
1st through 10th. So make sure the legless Calogero. Make sure you watch that.
I'm one of the bikers that can't leave. They
Exactly.
just chop my leg
Now
off.
you just can't leave, Tony.
Now you
And they
can't
just-
leave because
and
they
they
chopped your leg
You
off.
just chopped his leg right off at the bar.
Was that really over a parking space?
Yeah.
Yeah, mad funny comedy. Anytime you see a show that's Sean Brown, go to those shows.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean Brown. Thank you, Mike Keegan. Thank you to my producer, Tony Walker. Hershey and the Keegs Show here every Tuesday. We are scheduled to have, I believe, next week, Matt Serra from the UFC fame in studio with his trainer, Ray Longo. Is that still on the table, Mikey?
Next week? I thought that was August 22nd.
Oh, I thought it was July 22nd.
No, I think it was August. Maybe it is July 22nd.
All right, we'll go ahead and confirm as
It might
usual. Yeah. Well, that's the date I asked Mike about. I don't even know if there is an August 22nd. I think that's a
I grew up with
Thursday.
Aljamain. They're fighting.
is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
He's from
awesome.
Uniondale. Yeah,
That's right.
Oh, that's
I'll have to
awesome.
make a note of that.
Let
So,
me look right now.
to the fans of Sean Brown who are watching this, we hope you enjoyed the show, and please give us a like and a follow. And to our Hershey and the Keegs Show fans, thank you as always for giving your support. We'll be back next week with a vengeance. It might be with Ray Longo and Matt Serra. It might not be,
might
but
not
we'll
be.
figure it out. Have a good night. Thank you, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.